Hey, how's it going?
Hey Kevin, I'm doing well. How are you, man?
Doing well too. I hear
Awesome.
you got some questions.
Oh yeah, I got a couple of questions.
All right.
And Kevin, I'm not trying to take advantage of you doing something nice with free consults. If you want me to pay you for your time, I'm more than happy to do that. Just to
We can do like a free 15-minute conversation, and then if it needs to be more, we can set something up.
Okay, cool, man. I just wanted to get that out there right away. So my uh question is, I think I have a weak left shoulder. Um, I have kind of always noticed it when pressing. I'm about 30 to 20 pounds uh, weaker on my left side than my right side
Okay.
in like a bench press position. And when um, I guess doing durational pulls down, I noticed that that's significantly harder for me than just like one straight pull down and then release um,
Okay.
to the tune of like I can pull down at like 300 pounds, but I can't hold for like 30 seconds at 200 pounds. Um,
Okay.
and that strikes me as being pretty significant. And then just the other day, for the first time, I did like was trying to do a repeaters thing um, of like pull for seconds, 7 seconds, release for three, pull for seven, release for three, and I
Yeah, yeah.
noticed that on like the my second set and my but really loudly on my third set, the reason I couldn't keep pulling as hard as I wanted was because my left shoulder was really fatigued, like right in the armpit, sort of back of it. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm wondering how to start working to strengthen that up.
Yeah, I mean, arguably what you could do is do some like hangboard training, but just with like a pull-up bar and some weight on your harness or
Uh huh.
something like that, where you can actually start developing not so much just like you doing pull-ups, but especially that larger joint angle, because it's
Yeah.
that larger joint angle that's going to be a lot more challenging to recruit muscle
Uh huh.
and input, especially since that's probably the position you're going to most often be in when you're climbing. Every time you reach overhead, you need that ability to kind of pull and maintain.
Uh
So
huh.
I would arguably start there in that position, and then the other thing we can consider too is developing the strength and capacity of like the shoulder blade. So the
Yeah.
musculatures that attach to the shoulder blade, because those are going to be a lot stronger and bigger muscles for pulling than like your deltoid or your bicep or your tricep. And so
Mm-hmm.
developing that strength and stability in the shoulder blade could be really valuable, and
Mm-hmm.
that could be something um, the most like traditional exercise is like lying on your stomach and then kind of lifting your arms up into T's,
Mm-hmm.
into W's, and eventually overhead into like the Y position. And
Okay.
I'd argue I would assess that and just see how challenging those are. Like try to lift your arm up in a T position and
Yeah.
then lift it up maybe in like a Y or a 90-90 position,
Mm-hmm.
and just see add the head in as well too. Don't just do it
Cool.
with just the arms,
Yeah.
and see if you can hold it for anywhere from like 5 to 8 seconds,
Okay.
and do maybe like 6 to 8 reps, because that should be pretty challenging. And I'd argue you'll notice it being challenging,
Uh huh.
especially if it feels like it's more of that like shoulder blade strength and stability as well too.
Awesome. So just gonna say it back to make sure I got it. Uh, hang from a hangboard and just start adding weight, but stay in the hang, or hang from a bar to try to
Yeah, yeah,
isolate that endurance aspect of it.
yeah.
Um,
I'll just show you.
yeah.
So like my feet won't be touching the ground here,
Okay.
um, but you can go into this position,
Yeah.
kind of find that angle, and then lift the feet up,
Yeah.
and then gradually just shift your weight over to one arm versus the other.
Okay.
Um, the other way you can do it too is if you have like a four-way or something, you can kind of walk out that way. That way you don't have to like add weight to a harness. You can just kind of do it without accessory equipment and that sort of thing.
Cool.
But I would imagine that like 5 to 7 second lock off would be pretty challenging, or that's the goal. You want it to be like, you can get to 7, but like 10 would probably be too much.
Okay.
And that way, you're like above that like 75, 80% like strength range.
Yeah.
Where you'll build strength, but you're arguably building some endurance too, just simply because you're holding it for 5 to 7 seconds.
Okay.
And then the other one you can do is, I'll show you kind of a standing version of like the shoulder blade exercise.
Yeah.
I like using the band.
Yeah.
And then you strive to something steady. And then you go into a seat position.
Yeah.
And then you lean back.
Oh, cool.
And then what you can do is you can go kind of in like an overhead position.
Yeah.
And that really starts focusing on the shoulder blade stability, but also that strength that you need to kind of initiate that resilience in the shoulder blade when you start adding in more pulling techniques.
Cool. Well, I guess I feel set up with stuff to experiment with there. I think the lock-offs for 5 to 7 seconds, I could imagine that targeting it, because I think what I've discovered is that like my fingers might be stronger than my shoulders actually. So that
that would be something I want to like tease out a little bit more, because it sounds like that's the case at least right now.
Yeah. And so I think that plus the either standing T's and W's will probably start to target it pretty well. On a different note, my belly healed up really well. Thank you a ton for that. One additional thing that I found, aside from sort of levering and then switching side to side to sort of start targeting it, because that also quickly stopped hitting it pretty well after about like a week of doing it really, really regularly.
Nice.
Was hooking my legs under a bar or under a rope, and then having my hands on a pull-up bar and trying to pull my legs to my hands.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, a friend shared that one with me, and that like still, because it's like self-regulating force, still is getting it really, really good. So that one was solid. Question for you. Can you in any way share, or can I buy from you your like G Strength data program? Does that make sense?
So are you talking about the black screen with the lines on it?
Yeah, that.
If I could sell it, I probably would, but it's like I'm very novice with my like software engineering skills.
Yeah.
And like I just don't know how to like send it in a file or like send it in an email. It's like it's scattered on like 7 different programs, and so I have to like open up each program. And so
cool.
My hope is I'm going to try to reach out to like a real software engineer and say like, hey, this is as far as I've gotten. Are you guys able to like package it into just like a program that could be like shared and opened? And it hasn't necessarily been like a big priority of mine, just because G Strength keeps coming out with like new stuff.
Yeah.
And oftentimes they they have like the free app and stuff, which it works out pretty well too.
Yeah.
But I think if we end up going in another like pandemic, that was kind of my like pandemic project where I was just like working on that thing. And so long story short, I'm not necessarily working on it right now, but if I do, I'll let you know.
Cool. Well, I guess do let me know. I got kind of hosed by G Strength a bit because I didn't know that they were going to charge for that portal to the degree that they were. And I guess it's me assuming that they were going to try to expand their business model by offering like free software to go with their device, because then it would become, in my opinion, way more used. So
that's kind of that was my hope too. I was like, I get it. And like, it's cool and stuff, but like, I'm a healthcare provider who uses this tool.
Yeah.
And even to me, it seems very expensive. And so like, as the daily user, or like for someone from a training perspective, to drop like $1,000 on this tool, to have the programming in the tool, it's just like a little bit out of touch for me right now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I just think, I think if they can drop that price point down or just include the programming,
Yeah.
I think it would be awesome. But yeah, I totally get it. It's frustrating.
Well, I guess last thing on that, if I can help in any way with like contacting a programmer, like I know some programmers, including ones that are out of work. If that's something you'd be interested in, let me know. If you're like, nah, dude, I'm going a different direction. No worries.
I ironically, in meeting with a client of mine is also a software engineer, and I'm actually meeting with them tonight.
Cool.
But he's trying to develop a whole new program, like not even use my thing. And so I'm kind of just riding that wave right now because he's really into it. And I was like, if you're interested, I'm willing to kind of give you like what I look at as like a healthcare provider and a coach. And honestly, he's excited to show me whatever he has tonight. So if it's pretty cool,
yeah, that's funny.
Accessible, it's because it's going to be web based, which is kind of like the strength thing, I think. But if it ends up being anything, I'll let you know.
Yeah, cool, man. Well, thanks a bunch, and you have an awesome rest of your day.
Yeah, you as well. Thanks for keeping it short and sweet.
Yeah, no worries. Bye, dude.